Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, first of all, for bringing all these bills before us today. And I know that a great deal of work on both sides of the aisle went into the development of these agreements. I just want to thank the administration for moving forward. But I just want to make, and I wasn't going to speak particularly on this bill or any of them, quite frankly. I do have some comments for the record that I will enter into the record. But I felt compelled just momentarily.
Without objection.
I felt compelled momentarily to say something in regards to my colleague from Illinois and the statements about what it is we're trying, I believe, what we're trying to do by engaging in these agreements. I would argue that one of our greatest commodities and one of our greatest products that we have in this country are our values and what we would like to see in other countries that are developing around the world. And the murder rate in Colombia is a factor, as is other human rights, I think, within countries that we enter into agreements with. I will note for the record, we do not have an agreement with Burma. We do not have an agreement with North Korea. We don't have one with Iran. I would imagine that my colleague from Illinois would not suggest that we enter into them because of their human rights violations and the positions they hold contrary to ours with our own allies and shared allies that we have, for instance, with South Korea. One of the things I say about South Korea is if you want to be treated like South Korea, act like South Korea. And I just think it's important, you know, that many of us on this side of the aisle would say, let's renegotiate the agreement with Mexico. There are many people on my side of the aisle have been saying that for some time. I wasn't here, nor was my colleague from Illinois, when that legislation, those agreements were entered into. But there's no question here. We all have concerns about the level of violence and murder that's taking place in Mexico today, and would certainly working through the agreement we have right now, hoping that we can in some way effectuate change within Mexico. But you know, the notion or idea that these are purely economic agreements, I would argue that they are also, and maybe more importantly, geopolitical agreements and diplomatic agreements that we're entering into today. And that our reason for supporting these agreements, if we so choose to, is because we do believe that Korea is a special ally of the United States, that we do believe that Panama is a special ally of the United States, and that we do believe that Colombia in South America is a special ally to the United States, a long-standing ally. Dating back as far as maybe prior to that, but the Korean War. So I don't think that purely looking at this as economics and not looking at the greater picture and what is happening in these countries as though that should not be important to us, I think needs to be clarified, at least from this side of the aisle, at least from this gentleman from New York. Those are important factors, and I think that need to be weighed in when negotiating these agreements. And with that, I'll yield back the balance of my time.